Hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. And hello again, people. Hello again, kids. Hi, grandparents. Welcome, the gods of English. Come in, all of you chickens of the forest. And remember to make room for the gnus of the plain and the gibbons of the jungle. They're here to somewhere. Good. Now that we're all here, there's just the usual thing to do. Gusti, sit down and remain calm until the lesson is over. No dancing. Did you hear what I said? I said, no dancing! Good. Margot, don't block the TV, okay? And Nigel, good old Nigel. Nigel, you know the drill. You have to stop the noise pollution for the next 15 minutes, okay? After the end of the lesson, you can make as much noise as you want. Squeaking, grunting, snorting, whatever you fancy. But now, for the next 15 minutes or so, keep the noise down, okay? Okay, so who remembers what we did yesterday? Yes, that's right. We were looking at how we can use so plus verb plus subject to show agreement, weren't we? We looked at showing agreement the longer way using to. I like music too. And we also learned that we can use so with an auxiliary verb and a subject to say the same thing a shorter way. I like music too, so do I. Now, one thing we looked at yesterday was the fact that if the original sentence uses the present simple, then when we're using the so plus verb plus subject, we use the present simple form of the verb to do. Either do, or if the subject is the third person singular, then does. They drink beer, so do I. I play squash, so do you. We dance like drunk monkeys, so does he. We sing like deaf vultures, so does she. Great! And now, let's have a little bit more practice, shall we? In the following sentences, I'd like you to change the second part so that we get a short agreeing sentence using so. And this time, there are different answers with different subjects. Okay? Well, as usual, we'll do the first one together, shall we? All right. Number one, I'm at the police station. So he, so we, so I. So is he, so are we, so am I. Okay, that was simple enough, wasn't it? Now, what can we see about the answers? Well, the original sentence used which tense? That's right. The original sentence, I'm at the police station, used the present simple form of the verb to be. I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, they are. And in the agreeing second parts, we used so, then added the correct form of the verb to be in the present simple, and then ended with the subject. All right. Then what happens if we use a different tense? What happens if we use the present continuous? Well, what do you think? We use the am, is, are part of the verb that we use when we're making the present continuous. And what about the past simple? Well, there we use did, the same form of the auxiliary verb that we use when we make questions and negatives in the past simple. Ah, but what about when we use the verb to be in the past simple? Well, in that case, we use either was or were, depending on the subject. All right, are you ready for some more? Number two, I'm flying to Somalia on Wednesday. So I, so she, so we. Number three, I'm sitting down. So he, so we, so they. Number 4, I went to school in a small village in Scotland. So she, so I, so we. Number 5, they were in the cinema. So I, so we, so she. Fantastic! Well, there we had a few examples, didn't we? So, what have you got? Well, the first couple used the present continuous, didn't they? Which means that in the short answer to show agreement, we have to use what? That's right. We have to use the form of the verb to be that we use when we're making the present continuous. Am for the first person singular, I, are for the second person singular and the plural forms, and is for the third person singular, he, she, and it. I'm flying to Somalia on Wednesday. So am I. So is she. So are we. I'm sitting down. So is he. So are we. So are they.
Fantastic!
Yes, it was. That was fantastic. But we're not finished yet. What about the other two? What about them? Well, these two are using the past simple, aren't they? Which means what? That's right. That means that in the short agreeing sentence using so, we have to use did. Simple, isn't it? I went to school in a small village in Scotland. So did she. So did I. So did we. They were in the cinema. So was I. So were we. So was she. Great! So when the first sentence used a verb in the past simple, we used the past simple form of the verb to do. We made the short agreeing answers with did. And when the verb was the verb to be in the past simple, then we made the short agreeing answers with the past simple form of the verb to be. Was for the first person singular and the third person singular, I and he, she, it, and were for the second person singular and the plural forms, you, we, you, and they. Brilliant! And now for something a little bit different. Do you remember where we last saw Mary and Elizabeth Benfield? That's right. They were in a shoe shop, weren't they? Yes. When we last saw them, the shop assistant asked if they needed any help. Mary told the shop assistant that they were just looking around. So now, let's have a look at how they're getting on. Well, Lizzie, do you see anything you like? I'm not sure. There must be something you like. There are hundreds of pairs of shoes here. Well, I quite like these shoes, and I like this pair of shoes. Well, would you like to try them on? Yes. Okay. I'll get the shop assistant's attention. Excuse me, can you help us, please? Of course, madam. How can I help? My daughter would like to try some shoes on. She likes these two pairs of shoes, the blue ones and the red ones. Do you have them in her size? What size shoes do you wear, young lady? I normally wear size 36. Okay, just give me a moment and I'll check to see if we've got those shoes in size 36. Please, have a seat. Okay, great. Now we're really cooking. So let's just have a quick recap. What did we see in that conversation? Well, for one thing, Lizzie used different forms of language when she was talking about the shoes, didn't she? Sometimes she used the plural noun, I like these shoes. Now, when she used the plural noun, she made sure that there was agreement between the pronoun and the plural noun. She didn't say this shoes because this is a singular pronoun and shoes are plural. So it doesn't work. If the noun is plural, then we need to make sure that the pronoun is also plural. These shoes. Good. Now the other way that Lizzie talked about the shoes was when she used the word pair. Now the word pair means two in English. We use pair when we're talking about two things that come together. Two things that we use as one, like shoes for example. We always have a pair of shoes. There are two shoes, but we use them together. What else do we have a pair of? Well, we could have a pair of scissors, for example. Or a pair of trousers, or a pair of jeans. And of course, we have a pair of socks and a pair of shoes. Okay, all right. So we know that a pair means two. Good. And we understand that this means that we can use the plural noun with a pair. We can't have a pair of shoe, we have a pair of shoes. We can't have a pair of sock, we have a pair of socks. Good. Now, what other new things did we see in the conversation? Well, we saw a new verb, to try on. And what does that mean? Well, to try something on is a verb we use with clothes and shoes. We put the clothes onto our bodies or the shoes onto our feet and see if they're the right size, see if they fit or if they're too big or too small. When we try something on, we're normally trying it on for size. But when we're wearing the item of clothing, then we look at ourselves in a mirror to see if we look good. Maybe the item of clothing is the right size, but we don't look good. In shops, there is a special area for people to try clothes on. It's called a changing room. But with shoes, we normally just try them on in the shop. We sit down and try the shoes on. We put the shoes on and see if they fit, see if they're the right size, and then we look at them to see if we look good, to see if we want to buy them. So, first we try something on, like a shirt or a t-shirt or a pair of trousers or a pair of jeans, and then, if it or they fit, then we look at ourselves in the mirror and decide if we want to buy it or them. Now, what else did we see? What other language was new? Well, Mary and Lizzie and the shop assistant were talking about sizes, weren't they? Okay. Now, when we talk about size, then we're talking about how big or how small something is. When you order a pizza, the waiter will ask you what size of pizza you want, small, medium, or large. When I want to buy a t-shirt, I look at the t-shirts that are XL. My body's too big for a medium or large size. I need XL, extra large. I'm not sure what size of t-shirt this man needs, but it's bigger than XL. Blimey! Fat man! Batman! Okay, well on that note, I think it's time for me to go and get something to eat. Yes, that's right, my chickens of the forest. It's the end of the lesson and it's time for us to go. And here's Eddie to say goodbye as well.
Adieu. Adieu. To you and you and you.
Oh, well, that was a little bit strange, but never mind. Okay, people, we're off like 3-week-old milk. We'll see you tomorrow. But until then, if you feel the need for more English, head on over to www.m5tv.hu. That's where we keep the old lesson, and that's where we keep the vocabulary lists too. All right then, until tomorrow, have fun, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye!